You'll get it when you have a real family, my dad said, booking a cruise for my sister and her kids. I didn't argue. I just packed my things, left a note, and drove off before they came home. I didn't slam doors. I didn't cry. I didn't even lock the front door behind me. It didn't feel like my home anymore, so I treated it like any other place I was just passing through. When I moved back in with my parents after the divorce, I honestly thought we'd reconnect. That was stupid. I brought my son with me, 5 years old, quiet, clingy since everything went down. I had nowhere else to go. My ex-husband had drained our savings and left me with credit card debt and a rental I could no longer afford. It was either move back in with my parents or sleep in my car. I guess eventually I ended up doing both. My sister was already living there with her husband and their 2 kids. The house was packed. No one said it out loud, but it was clear I was the extra mouth. The wrong puzzle piece. I overheard my mom say once to a friend on the phone that it wasn't ideal, and I knew she meant me. At first I tried to be helpful. Took over laundry, cooked dinner, vacuumed, wiped down counters. Then it just became expected. No one ever said thank you. And when I asked for small favors, like someone watching my son while I ran a job interview, I got sighs or awkward silences. Once my sister said, "Well, maybe you should have thought about that before getting divorced." The house had a pecking order. My sister's family first. My parents second. Me and my son leftovers. I remember sitting down one night after a long shift cleaning a local dentist office, and there wasn't even a plate left for me. My mom told me there were some crackers in the pantry. Like that was a normal dinner. But the real crack in the dam came on a Tuesday. I walked in after dropping off my job application at 3 different places. My son in tow, both of us tired and dusty, and there was this pile of luggage in the hallway. My sister, her husband, and the kids were heading on a cruise. 7 days. Bahamas. Ocean view suite. I honestly thought it was a joke at first. Then my dad said it. You'll get it when you have a real family. Just like that. I stood there holding my son's hand and he laughed like it was all very amusing. I smiled. Nodded. Went upstairs. And that was it. I packed our bags quietly. I only took what we needed. 2 small duffels, my son's favorite blanket, and a folder of my old college papers I couldn't bring myself to leave behind. I wrote a note on a torn piece of notebook paper and left it on the kitchen table under the salt shaker. Thanks for the roof. I'll never forget it. I didn't have a place lined up. No job yet. Just under $300 to my name. I put my son in the car, handed him a juice box and started driving. No GPS. No destination. I just kept moving. It wasn't courage. It was desperation disguised as motion. We slept in the car that night in a Walmart parking lot. I cracked the windows. I watched him fall asleep in the backseat with his shoes still on. That was the moment I realized no one was coming. Not my parents. Not my sister. Not even my ex. No one. But I had him. And he had me. So I started figuring it out. One day at a time. One scraped-together plan after another. The first week felt like walking a tightrope in the dark. I didn't have a plan, just the knowledge that staying would have crushed me more than the fear of what came next. We bounced between motels and parking lots. I'd park near 24-hour gas stations so I could use their bathroom to wash my son's face and brush his teeth in the mornings. I didn't let him see me cry. Not once. I waited until he fell asleep. The last motel we stayed in before I found the guest house had a sticky floor and a broken heater. We slept under both our coats, side by side on a thin mattress with a cigarette burn in the corner. He called it camping. That word saved me. I told him we were on a trip, that we'd find our treasure soon. I found a handwritten ad pinned to the wall of a laundromat. Guest house for rent. Quiet tenants only. $400 per month, no lease. I called right then, my fingers shaking. The woman who owned the place sounded tired. Said I could come see it before noon. We drove straight there. It was a little studio behind her house. Yellow paint chipped in places with one window and a broken screen door. The inside smelled like dust and something floral. The bed was just a mattress on a wooden frame. There was a cracked mirror in the bathroom and one working burner on the stove. I told her I'd take it. She looked me over. Asked where my husband was. I told her it was just me. Just us. She nodded like she'd heard that story before. She said I could stay, but if anything got loud, we were out. I paid the first 2 months with most of what I had left. That week, I cleaned houses during the day and did laundry in the bathtub at night. I fed my son rice, beans, eggs, and apples. Cheap, filling, simple. I skipped most meals. I didn't even notice the hunger. I was running on panic and guilt and some strange mix of pride and shame. Then something weird happened. One of the houses I cleaned had a home gym in the basement, and the woman who owned it was always filming herself. She said she posted mom workouts online. People sent her free stuff. She made money. I asked questions. She didn't say much, but it stuck in my head. I used to be a fitness instructor. Years ago. Back when I had dreams that didn't involve just surviving. I remembered all the routines, the moves, the corrections. My body still knew what to do even if my confidence didn't. So I took a chance. I set up my cracked phone on a folding chair in the backyard and filmed myself doing a 10-minute beginner workout. My son ran in halfway through and tried copying me. He kept going. I uploaded it to TikTok. The sound was off. The video was shaky. But I did it. It got 73 views. No big deal. But the comments said otherwise. This made my day. You're so real. I needed this today. So I did another. And another. I filmed outside. In the kitchen. With my son sitting behind me eating cereal. I didn't fake anything. I didn't use filters. I just showed up. And people noticed. The following week, one of the videos hit 9,000 views. Then 20,000. A small fitness gear company messaged me asking if I'd like a free yoga mat. Felt like winning the lottery. I started getting up earlier to plan routines. I edited videos while my son napped. I taught myself how to use captions and find trending sounds. My phone was old, slow, dying most of the time, but it was my entire business. Then one night while I was filming a voiceover in the bathroom for better acoustics, I got a message. It was from my sister. She hadn't said a word to me since the day I left. The message said, "Didn't know you were doing all this. Look, different. No apology. Oh, asking how we were. Just that." I stared at it for 5 full minutes, then turned my phone over and put it face down on the counter. She didn't know half of it. The video that changed everything wasn't even planned. I'd just gotten home from a food bank run, groceries still in the car, my son tugging at my leggings wanting to play. I was sweaty, exhausted, and not in the mood, but I set up the phone anyway. I filmed a quick workout, nothing fancy. My son was behind me, spinning in circles, pretending to be a superhero. I left it in, posted it before dinner. By the time I woke up the next morning, the video had over 80,000 views. People weren't commenting on the squats or the lunges. They were talking about him. How happy he looked. How peaceful the energy was. How real we felt. I watched the numbers climb like someone else's life. 3 days later, it hit 500,000. That's when everything changed. My follower count doubled in a week. Brands started emailing me directly. At first, it was free stuff. Mats, workout clothes, protein bars. Then small sponsorship offers started trickling in. $75 for a post. Then $150. Then $300. I said yes to every single one. I made more money that month than I did in 3 months of cleaning houses. Not enough to feel rich, but enough to finally breathe. I fixed the broken burner. Bought Royale curtains. A tiny fridge. New shoes for my son. A full-size bed so we didn't have to keep sleeping in a twin like sardines. I opened a P.O. box for the brand deals. Some followers even started sending notes. One woman wrote, "I watch your workouts while my newborn sleeps. You remind me of who I used to be. Thank you." Felt like a private revolution. I was rebuilding my life in full view of strangers who cared more about me than my own family ever did. Then one night, while filming a voiceover in the bathroom because the acoustics were better, I saw it. My sister had followed me. She didn't message at first. Just started liking every video. Commenting under some. "Wow, didn't know you were doing all this. This is wild. He's gotten so big." It was like she was trying to slip back into my life without ever acknowledging why I left in the first place. Without mentioning the nights I asked her for help watching my son and she suddenly had to rest. Without owning the way they all looked through me like I was furniture. I ignored her. Then my mom messaged me. "Hey honey, just saw your workout stuff. Looks fun. You've always been into that. Glad to see you're smiling again." I stared at that word. Fun. As if this had all been a little hobby. As if the hunger, the sleeping in parking lots, the fear of checking my bank account had been some quirky phase. No mention of what it took to get here. Just vague, cheerful nothing. I didn't respond. The next day they started a family group chat. My mom, my dad, my sister, and me. The name of the chat was Our Strong Girls. I almost laughed out loud. My dad's first message? Now this is the Qley we always knew was in there. No mention of the cruise. No mention of the comment he made about a real family. Just fake support layered over years of silence. Then my sister asked if I wanted to meet for lunch. Said she had some ideas. That word made my stomach turn. Ideas. I knew what was coming. He wanted something. They all did. I typed back one sentence. "Sorry. My schedule's full these days." They kept the messages coming. At first sweet, then slightly annoyed. I didn't reply. Not once. They weren't reaching out because they missed me. They were reaching out because I had something now. Because people were watching. Because I had attention, and for the first time in my life, it wasn't because I was cleaning up someone else's mess. They wanted back in. But I wasn't opening the door. After the group chat went quiet, I thought maybe they'd finally gotten the hint. I kept posting videos. More workouts. Some meal prep. A few glimpses into my day with my son. Nothing too personal, but just enough to show people we were okay. Better than okay, actually. One video hit 1.2 million. It was just us in the backyard, using soup cans as weights because I didn't have dumbbells yet. I joked about it in the caption. People loved it. A fitness brand messaged me that night offering a $5,000 sponsorship for a 3-part series. I had to read the email 5 times. I cried in the dark while my son snored next to me. I was starting to feel like a real person again. Then my mom showed up. No warning. No call. Just a knock on the door one Saturday afternoon. I looked through the curtain and saw her standing there with my dad behind her, holding a store-bought pie like it was peace offering season. I opened the door just wide enough to hear her say, "Thought we'd stop by, check on you. Looks like you've been busy." I told them I didn't have time, that we were just about to leave. My dad pushed forward anyway, half in the doorway, saying he wanted to talk. He didn't waste time getting to the point. "You've made a name for yourself now. It's good. But don't forget who was there for you when you needed a place to land." I stood there blinking. He actually said that. My mom chimed in with something about family support and how they had sacrificed to help me out. She said it like I'd been freeloading, not doing their laundry and watching my sister's kids for 7 straight months without a thank you. Then she suggested that I start helping out. Said my sister could use a little boost. Her husband had been laid off. Things were tight. She said it like we were a team. I told them we weren't. My dad raised his voice, said I was being selfish, that I was lucky, that I owed them. I just stood there, calm, silent. Then I stepped back, pointed at the door and said they needed to leave. He looked like he wanted to argue more, but my mom grabbed his arm and pulled him back. She muttered something about me choosing pride over family. Then they were gone. I thought that would be the end of it. But the next morning I woke up to something even stranger. My ex-husband had messaged me. "Hey, long time. Just saw your video. Proud of you. We should talk." I stared at his name for a full minute. This man hadn't called, texted, or asked about our son in over a year. Not once. Not for his birthday, not for Christmas. He vanished after the divorce and I let him. Now suddenly he was proud. I didn't reply. A few hours later he sent another message. "I've been thinking maybe we rushed things. Maybe we gave up too soon. You look amazing. I mean it." There it was. The minute you start shining, the people who let you drown start reaching for you like they deserve a second chance. I screenshotted the message, saved it, and didn't say a word. I had no interest in going back to any of it, but I knew exactly what I was going to do next. I waited 2 weeks before responding to anyone. Not out of hesitation, but because I was building something. Something I didn't want to ruin by reacting too fast. I wasn't just some girl who got lucky online anymore. I was running a business now. Sponsorships were rolling in, Patreon had passed 1,000 subscribers, and a streaming platform had reached out about creating a beginner fitness series. Meanwhile, my inbox was flooded. My sister started tagging me in stories hinting at collaborations. One post said, "So proud of my sis. DM her for private training." She never asked me, just assumed I'd be flattered. Then my mom sent a long, emotionally loaded message. Said they were hurt by how I'd been shutting them out. Said it wasn't fair, how I was letting the past define our relationship when they did what they could for me. She ended it with, "We're your family. No matter what, we always will be." That phrase, "no matter what," felt like a trap. I sent her a short reply. "I'm glad you think that. I don't." And I left it there. But the real twist came 2 days later when someone knocked again. I peeked out the window and this time it wasn't my parents. It was my sister. Alone. She was dressed up. Makeup on, heels, holding a little notepad like she was pitching something. I didn't want to open the door, but I did. She went straight into it. She'd come up with a business idea. Said we could be a duo. Family fitness. Sisters. Struggle to success. She used those exact words. Said we could get brand deals together, grow faster, maybe even launch a clothing line. I let her finish. I didn't interrupt once. Then I told her I work alone. That I built this from the ground up with nothing. And I meant nothing. No support, no encouragement, not even a babysitter. Just grit, desperation, and a cracked phone. She got quiet. Then she got annoyed. Said I was acting like I was better than everyone now. I told her no. I wasn't better. I was just finally free. She left without another word. But what she did next? She went online. She didn't name me directly, but she posted a video about how some people forget where they come from once they get a little fame, and how family should come before followers. I got tagged in the comments, over and over. I didn't respond, but I filmed a video the next morning. No drama, no callouts. Just a 10-minute workout and a quiet message at the end. To anyone who's ever been told they owe their pain to people who gave them none of their joy, you don't. Build your peace and protect it. That's your real job. It went viral. My following tripled. And none of them, not my parents, not my sister, not my ex, said another word. Until the day my ex showed up in person. It happened on a random Tuesday. I was filming a warm-up outside, my son coloring on the porch, when I heard someone behind me. I turned around and there he was, my ex-husband. Sunglasses on, hands in his pockets, like he was dropping by out of nostalgia. He didn't waste time. Said he'd been watching me online. That he missed us. That maybe we gave up too soon. Then he slipped in the real reason he was there. Things were tight for him and maybe we could work together now. Said he could help manage the business side. I didn't even let him finish. I told him to leave. He laughed. Said I wouldn't have made it without him. But he left. That night, I sat next to my son listening to him breathe while the world outside finally felt quiet. 6 months later, we're in a new place. 2 bedrooms. No leaks. No chaos. My parents are silent. My sister gave up. My ex vanished again. Me. I didn't just survive. I started over, and this time no one else gets a piece of it.